are you today? Thank you for visiting my channel, Math Lover and More. I hope that you are all well and healthy, and I hope that you will learn more about math today. Our objectives are graph linear equations in two variables and find the slope of a line. To start with, let me give definition of some terms. Linear equation. It is an equation in which the highest exponent is 1. Its graph is a straight line. The standard form for linear equations in two variables is Ax plus by equals c, where a, b, and c are real numbers, and a is the numerical coefficient of x, b is the numerical coefficient of y, and c is a constant. It is a number without a letter beside it. These are the examples of linear equations in standard form. 4x plus 2y equals 10. The a is 4, b is 2, and c is 10. Next example, 3x minus 6y equals 12. The a is 3, the b is negative 6, and the c is 12. There is another form for linear equation, and that is slope-intercept form. It is in the form y equals mx plus b, where m is the slope and b is the y-intercept. Example for this is y equals 2x plus 4. The slope in this equation is 2 and the y-intercept is 4. We have also some other examples here. 3x equals y. 3x equals y is also in slope-intercept form, only that it has no y-intercept. If we rewrite it in this way, y equals 3x, then the slope is 3 and the y-intercept is 0. We also have other examples. Y minus 4 equals 0. It is not in standard form. It is not also in slope-intercept form. We have another example. X plus 3 equals 0. You will learn more, or you will know more about these linear equations as I discuss to you how to graph them. Linear equations are important in reality. Almost any situation where there is an unknown quantity can be represented by linear equation. Linear relation is useful with situations that have a regular increase or decrease of quantities. For instance, figuring out income over time, calculating mileage rates, budgeting, or predicting profit. Many students resent having to learn algebra in high school or college because they don't see how it applies to real life. Yet, the concepts and skills of college algebra provide invaluable tools for navigating business solutions, financial problems, and even everyday dilemma. The trick to successfully using college algebra in real life is determining which situations call for which formula and concepts. Fortunately, the most common real-life problems call for widely applicable and highly recognizable techniques. We will talk about the applications of linear equations more in the next videos. For now, I will discuss how to graph linear equations and how to find the slope of a line of linear equations. These are the steps in graphing linear equations. First, change the equation into a slope-intercept form. Second, make a table of values for x and y. Third, plot the points on the Cartesian plane. Let us now graph linear equation 3x minus 6y equals 12. So this equation is in the form standard or general form. So we transform it into a slope-intercept form. So to transform it, we will transfer or transpose those expressions that should not be in the left side of the equation. In slope-intercept form, the left side of the equation should only be y. And so we transpose positive 3x to the other side. When 3x is transferred to the other side, the positive 3x becomes negative 3x. And so it becomes negative 6y is equal to negative 3x plus 12. So the 12 will remain there, and since it's positive, we have plus 12. And then we divide negative 6 with negative 6, and it becomes 1y. And so it is just equal to y. Equals negative 3 divided by negative 6 is positive 0.5x, and 12 divided by negative 6 is negative 2. And so the slope-intercept form of that linear equation is y equals 0.5x minus 2. And that equation will be used in finding the points to be plotted on the Cartesian plane. So we will proceed to the second step. We make a table of values for x and y. And so we have x. Since x is the independent variable, it is where we will substitute any number. And for me, I will use 0, positive 1, and negative 1 since it's easy to compute with these values. So when I will substitute these numbers to the equation y equals 0, 5x minus 2, then I will be able to find the values of y. Okay, so let us start with x equals 0. Y is equal to 0.5, and since x is 0, so we multiply 0.5 with 0 minus 2. And so it becomes y equals 0. Since 0.5 times 0 is 0 minus 2, then y is equal to negative 2. That means our x is 0 and our y is negative 2. That is our first coordinate. Second, we let x be equal to 1, and so we substitute it. Y is equal to 0.5 times 1 minus 2. So 0.5 times 1 is 0.5 minus 2 is negative 1.5. So our y is negative 1.5. So the second point or the second coordinate is 1, negative 1.5. The numbers in purple color. Next, we let x be equal to negative 1, and so we solve. Okay, we substitute negative 1 to x. That becomes y equals 0.5 times negative 1 minus 2. 0.5 times negative 1 is negative 0.5 minus 2, then y is negative 2.5. So that is our third coordinate, negative 1 and negative 2.5. So we will go to the third step in graphing. So those three numbers, those three pairs of numbers become our 3 points. So the first point is 0, negative 2. The second point is 1, negative 1.5. And the third point is negative 1, negative 2.5. So we now plot these points. We plot the first point, 0, negative 2. As you can see, the one with a red point, that is 0, negative 2. Okay, the second one is, that is positive 1, negative 1.5. So there are already 2 red points on the Cartesian plane. The third point will be negative 1 and negative 2.5. So that one there, That's the -1, -2.5. So we can see 3 points on the Cartesian plane. And these points will be connected for us to have the graph of the linear equation. Okay, so when we connect the 3 points, we now have this line. Okay, so these 3 points here, we connected them 0, -2, and then 1, -1.5, and then -1, -2.5. When these 3 points are connected, the line that is formed is the one that you see on the screen. So this is now the graph of the linear equation 3x minus 6y is equal to 12. This is how it look like. Okay? So that's it. We proceed to the next example. Okay, graph the linear equation 3x equals y. So the first, change the equation into a slope-intercept form. As I have told you earlier, that given is already in slope-intercept form. And we will just interchange it, so it will become y equals 3x. You see, equation is commutative. So the order doesn't matter. So y equals 3x. So our slope is the 3 and the intercept is 0. Okay, the next is make a table of values for x and y. So we will always substitute values to x. The x is the independent variable. So I usually use 0, 1, and -1. So we will have x equals 0, so y is equal to 3 times 0. So 3 times 0 is 0, that is why our x is 0 and our y is 0 also. Next, we go to x equals 1. So y is equal to 3x, then y is equal to 3 times 1, so y is 3. So you can see there, the next coordinate is 1, 3. Next, we have x is equal to -1. So we substitute -1 to x, and so y is equal to 3 times -1. 3 times -1 is equal to -3. So our third point will be -1, -3. So the third step is we will now plot these 3 pairs of numbers. So we have 0, 0. We plot 0, 0, and that is the origin. Okay? In the Cartesian plane, the 0, 0 is the origin. Okay, next, we plot 1, 3. So you see, the one there, okay, so the origin is this one. That one. Okay. And then, okay, that is the origin. And then the 1, 3 is here. 1, 3 is above here. I hope it will be that part. Okay. This one. Okay. And then the -1, -3 is in here. -1 and then -3. Somewhere here. Okay. Somewhere there. So, you see that we have the 3 points. This is the origin. And this one is the +1, 3. This one is -1, -3. And so when we connect the 3 points, okay, Okay, we connect the 3 points. That becomes our graph, our line. So, to show it clearly, for a while. Okay, so that becomes our line, this one. So, we have here the 0, 0, the 1, 3, and the negative 1, negative 3. Okay, so this is the 0, 0, the 1, 3, and the negative 1, negative 3. So those 3 points. You see the point with the red one, the red colored point? So those are the 3 the points. 0, 0, negative 3, and positive 1, 3, and negative 1, negative 3. And so we connect them, and that becomes our graph for the linear equation 3x equals y. Okay, so that is now clear. So we will proceed to the next example. Okay, graph linear equations, that is y minus 4 equals 0. So change the equation into a slope-intercept form. So we will transpose negative 4 to the other side. That becomes y equals positive 4. As you can see, the given equation now is y equals 4. There is no more x. And so, we could not make a table of values because there is only y. There is no x. And so, we plot the point y equals 4 on the Cartesian plane. We will only plot y equals 4 on the Cartesian plane. Okay, there is no x man, there's only y. So when you plot y equals 4 on the Cartesian plane, okay, when you plot y equals 4 on the Cartesian plane, y equals 4, okay, that will be, we will be looking for where is that part where y is equal to 4. So it is in here, that part, this part, all of these here, y is equal to 4. That one there. Okay, wait. Okay. Okay, so this one here, so all this one, that one, the line, that is where the y is equal to 4. So you can just put a line there. So that becomes your graph. It is in that area where y is equal to 4. We have different x, but we don't consider that one. We just consider the idea that y is equal to 4. So that becomes a line, a straight line. It's a horizontal line. Okay. So that is our graph for y minus 4 equals 0. It's a straight horizontal line. Okay? So let us proceed to the next given. Graph the linear equation x plus 3 equals 0. So we change the equation into a slope-intercept form. So we transpose positive 3 to the other side. And that becomes x is equal to negative 3. This time, this linear equation has no y. There is no letter y. And so, what will happen? So, we will just consider the value of x. So there is no y, so we could not make a table of values. So we will only plot the point x is equal to -3. So we plot that. Okay. So how do we plot that one? This is now so this is now what x is equal to +3. When it's transposed to the right side, it becomes -3. And so we will now look at which part where x is -3. So the x -3 is in here. So this part, this one there, that line there. Okay, this one. Oh, sorry. Okay, that is where x is -3. So we form a line here. That straight line there. Okay, so that is the x is equal to -3. Whether it's below or above, you will always see that x is -3. We don't care of the y. We only care of the x, because according to our linear equation, x is -3. So when it is x, when there is no y, the line graph is vertical. When there is no x, the line graph is horizontal. The graph of the linear equation. Okay. So we have here the graph. The orange line is the graph of the linear equation. X plus 3 is equal to 0. So let us now have the summary of this graph here. So we have the graph for 3x minus 6y equals 12, 3x equals y minus 4 equals 0, and x plus 3 equals 0. Looking at the graph of the four linear equations, we can see that there are differences here. As you can see, the first graph, 3x minus 6y plus 12, it slants. It has the slant the slant of the line, it is slant to the right. So it is not that steep. The line is not that steep. On the second, 3x plus y, the line is very steep. So if you are looking at a stairway, in the graph in number 1, linear equation number 1, that is it's okay if you walk on that stairway. Okay, it's not that steep. But if you walk on the stairway with the steepness like this in number 2, 3x equals y, that is really dangerous. It's very steep. Okay, in number 3, y minus 4 equals 0, there is no steepness there. You see, it's horizontal. There is no steepness. That is why the slope there is 0. X plus 3 is equal to 0. That is a vertical line. The slope there is actually undefined. So the steepness of the line is what we call the slope. So we will now talk about the slope of the line. Okay, so the meaning of the slope, it is the measure of the steepness of a line. It is the vertical change over the horizontal change. It is the rise over the run. It is the change in y over the change in x. And it is denoted by the letter m. So as formula in solving for the slope, we have m is equal to the second y minus the first y divided by the second x minus the first x. So we will have to apply that formula later. Okay, let's have these ways to find the slope of a line. There are 3 ways, so I'm going to teach you how to find the slope of a line using these 3 ways. The first is from a point. If you see a line on the Cartesian plane, you look at a point, you choose a point, and from that point you count vertically over, and you count over the count horizontally to another point. So that is the slope change in y over the change in x. Later I will demonstrate it. Second, use 2 points on the line. So you find 2 points, any 2 points that are on the line, and then you substitute it in the formula y, second y minus the first y, the second x minus the first x. Okay, the third way is you convert the equation into slope-intercept form. Because when you convert the equation into a slope-intercept form, the form y equals mx plus b, where m is the slope. So the m there, the number beside x, or the numerical coefficient of x, is actually the slope. So these are the 3 ways of finding the slope of a line. Okay, so let us have an example. Find the slope of the linear equation. So this is the linear equation that is given. Sometimes you are given a graph, sometimes you are only given the equation. But this time you are given the graph and the equation. So when you are given a graph, you will just have to, the first way is you look for a point. Okay, any point will do. For example, I will have this point here that is 0, -2. So from 0, -2, I will have to this one 0, -2, I will have to count there 1, 2. So from -2, count upward. That is the change in y. So the change in y, you go up to +1 to 0, you stop there, and then you go to the right so that you will be able to go to another point in the line. So you count how many numbers for the x, that is the change in x. So from 0, you go 1, 2, 3, and 4. So that is 4, meaning 2 over 4. So your slope is equal to the slope for a while. Okay, so the slope m is equal to, you go up 2 over, you go to the right 4 numbers. And so when you simplify the fraction, it is equal to 1/2, or it is equal to 0.5, meaning the slope is 1/2. What did let me repeat that. From the point, this one, from the point 0, -2, you go up 1, 2, and then that is 2 over, you go to the right so that you will go to another point in the line. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. So you go to another point from this point here, this one, to this point. So that is over 4. That's why your slope is 1/2. Okay, that's one way of finding the slope. Another way of finding the slope is you will use the formula change in y over the change in x. So we have it, this one. I'm done with number 1. We will now go to number 2. So you will find 2 points on the line. So we have 0, -2. Where is that 0, -2? Okay, it's in here, this part, this one. That's 0, negative 2, this part here. Okay? That is 0, negative 2. And then you have 6, positive 1. Where is that 6, positive 1? Okay, can you see where is that 6 and then positive 1? You go 1, this is the 6 here, and then the positive 1, where is that one? Okay, this one. Oh, wait. Okay, this one. Okay, that one. Okay, that is the 6 positive 1. So just choose 2 points on the line. There are many points, but I choose the points that are exact whole number. And so when you have that point, you label each point. So for the first point, 0, negative 2, you label the 0 for your x1, the first x. You label negative 2 for your y1, the first y. And then the second point, 6, 1, you label the first number as your x2, and then the second number as your y2. So how about if you interchange it, like the 6, 1 will be your first point, and then the 0, negative 2 will be your second point? It's okay. You will get the same answer as long as you will not mix up the numbers. Just label where is x1, where is y1, and where is x2, where is y2. So it could not be that this is x1 and the other is y2. It cannot be like that. If it is x1, the partner or the pair should be y1. And if the number x is x2, the pair is y2. So you substitute the numbers correctly in the formula. Y2 is the 1, the yellow one. So you put there 1. And Y1 is the blue one. So you put minus, and then the Y1 is negative 2. So minus negative 2. Over the X2 is the green one, 6. So 6 minus the X1 is the red one. So that is 0. 6 minus 0. So 1 minus negative 2 is positive 3. You review on your integers. 1 minus negative 2 is positive 3. 6 minus 0 is 6. So you simplify 3 over 6, that is 1/2. So whether you use the first way or the second way, the answers are always the same. Okay, how about the third way? You can just, if you are given the linear equation, you can just use the linear equation in finding the slope. You transform the given equation into a slope-intercept form. You see, that becomes, we already transformed it earlier. So you transpose positive 3x, it becomes negative 3x, and then plus 12. You divide negative 6y by negative 6, so it becomes y equals negative 3 divided by negative 6 is 0.5, positive 0.5. And 12 divided by negative 6 is negative 2. And so, as I've told you, the slope-intercept form is in the form y equals mx plus b, where m is the slope. So the m is the number beside x. So since in the transformation of that equation, the number beside x is 0.5, so the slope is 0.5. So in the three ways of finding the slope is always the same, are always the same. Okay, let's have number 2. Find the slope of the linear equation. Sometimes the linear equation is only given through graph, or sometimes it's given through the equation. So if it is the graph, still the same, you will have to find a point. So I decide to find a point here. So I want this 0, 0. Okay, the origin. Okay, can you see that? The origin. That's the 0, 0. That's my first point. So I will go up to go to the next point. So I will have 1, 2, 3. And then I'll go to the next point. So 3, that is m equals 3 over, so the numerator should be the going up, and then the denominator is going to the right or to the left. So I will go to the right to go to the next point, this point here, kani siya nga point, that 1. So to go there is only one number, this one. Okay, so that is only over 1. So that means m is equal to 3. The slope is equal to 3. So let us have another way of answering that. Okay, did you see the equation? The equation is 3x equals y, or y equals 3x. So that is the slope-intercept form. And as I said, the slope-intercept form, the number beside x is the slope. That's why the slope here is 3. The slope is 3. So whether you use the way you by going up and going to the right, or just look at the equation, transform it into slope-intercept form, your answer, your slope are always the same. The slope for this equation is 3. Okay, so that is the wonders of math. So even if you use different ways of solving, you will always reach to the same answer as long as you did not violate any mathematical principle. Okay, you have here, so we have the change in x. I already demonstrated it, over the change in y. So the change in x, you go up, that's 1, 2, 3, so that is why it's 3. Over the change in x is only 1, so 3 over 1, then the slope is 3. Okay, you can also solve the slope here by using 2 points on the line. So in here I use the 2 points 0, 0 and 1, 3. So we have here the 2 points 0, 0. This is the 0, 0. Okay, this one is the 0, 0. That one, that's the 0, 0. And then the 1, 3 is this one above. Oh, sorry. Okay, that one. I could not. Okay, that one there. Oh, the point on the line. Okay, so those are the 2 points that I use. So just label them correctly. The 0 is x1, the other 0 is y1. And then the 1 in the second point, the green number is the x2. And then the 3, the yellow number, is the y2. So we will now substitute that in our formula, y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So the y2 is 3 minus the y1, that is 0, over the x2 is 1 minus the x1, that is 0. So just substitute the numbers properly to the formula. So that will become 3 minus 0 is 3, 1 minus 0 is 1. So the answer is 3 over 1, and the final answer is 3. So it's the same with the answer in the first step, first solution. Number 3, convert the equation to slope-intercept form. That is the slope-intercept form is y equals 3x plus 0. The b there is 0. Because the given is 3x equals y, you interchange them, it becomes y equals 3x. And it is understood that the intercept, the y-intercept is 0. So our m, or the slope, is 3. So that's it. There are 3 ways to solve for the slope. Okay. So find the slope of the linear equation, that one. We have the linear equation y minus 4 equals 0. So as you can see, there is no x. So it would be good if we will just, in this given, we will just use the 2 points. Just if there is no, if one variable is missing, then it would be best if we use the formula for you find 2 points and then label it and then substitute it in the formula. So for the 2 points here, for a while. Okay, so I chose the points 0, 4, and 1, 4. So as you can see, we have here the 0, 4. This is 0, 4. That one, oh, that one. Okay, there, that's the 0, 4. And then the 1, 4, of course, this one. The next point, that one. Okay, so that is the 0, 4 and the 1, 4. Okay, and so we now substitute those numbers in our formula. Okay, we have 0 for the x1, so for the y2, that is 4, minus the y1, the blue number, that is 4. So 4 minus 4 is 0. For the denominator, 1 minus 0, the x2 is the green number, the x1 is the red number. So 1 minus 0 is 1. You see, 0 divided by 1 is equal to 0. So when the graph is a horizontal line, or when the given equation has no x, then the slope of that line is always 0. When the graph of the line or the linear equation is horizontal, then the slope is 0. Okay? Next, we'll go to the next next given. We will have, find the slope of the linear equation x plus 3 equals 0. So as you can see, there is only one letter x. So I told you that if the letter is only one or there is missing letter, it would be best if you will just use the solution wherein you find 2 points and use the formula y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. So we have here the formula. So we are getting the slope of the line that is vertical. So when we use the formula negative, I choose here negative 3, 0. So the negative 3, 0 is this part. Okay, so negative 3, 1, negative 2. This is negative 3, 0, that part here. Okay, there. And then the negative 3, 1 is also negative 3 and the 1 is there. That one. That is negative 3, 1. So we will now, you can use other points. You will get the same answer for the slope. So we will now substitute negative for y2, that is 1, minus y1, that is 0. Divided by x2, that is negative 3, minus x1, that is negative 3. So 1 minus 0 is 1. for the denominator, -3 minus -3 is actually equal to 0. And 1 over 0 is not 0. The value is 0 when it is in the numerator. But since 0 is in the denominator, the answer there is undefined. Okay, that's undefined. So, meaning the slope is undefined. So, when you have a vertical line, then the slope of that vertical line is always undefined. Okay, so we have here the last one. Okay, since you already know how to graph the line and how to find the slope, I have here some activity. According to the instruction, graph the line going through the given point and having the given slope. So, you are given one point and you are given a slope. The slope is 1 over 2. Now, you already know that the slope is the change of the change of y over the change in x. So, it is just easy to graph these lines with the given with this given here. So how do we do that? Okay, so first we will graph the line for 2, 5 and the slope is 1/2. So we will do like that. You start from the point 2, 5. So you look at where is 2, 5. So you have the x, that is 2, and then the 5 is above there. So wait for a while. So we have here 2, 5 is this part here. 2, 5, that line there. That's the point. Okay, that's 2, 5. And then you go 1. 1 means you go up. It's positive, you go up. If it's negative, you go down. So since it's kanang positive, you go up there. So that becomes, you go there to the 6, there, that one. And then the over 2 means you go to the right. So go to the right, 1, 2, so that one. So the point now is here. So these 2 points, you will have your line there, like that. Okay, the point is here and there. So there are 2 points now. You will just count that off. So to give the answer clearly, we will have this one for a while. Okay, so this is now the answer. You see, you go up. You start at 2, 5, and then you go up 1. So 1 point up, and then 1 point up, and then there. So okay, so you go up 1 point there, that one, and then you go down, or you go to the right 2 numbers. So from 2 you go 2, 3, 4, and so the second point will be at 4, 6, the second point, and then you will just connect them, and that is already the graph of the line, or the graph of the given. Okay, let's proceed to number 2. We have here graph the line that passes through 0, 2, and the slope that is 7 over 4. So you go to the 0, 2 first. So where is 0, 2? 0, 2 is this part, this one. Okay, that one. This is the 0, 2. Okay, there, that one. That's 0, 2. And then you go up 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So you go up in here, and then it says you go to the right 4, 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So your next point is this part here. There. that one. So you have your first point here and next point there. So when you graph it, you will have like that. Okay? So that is how you graph that line. Okay, let us see the clearer answer. So there. So you have here the 0, 0, 2. Okay, sorry. 0, 2 is not in this part. Sorry. So the 0, 2 is here pala. Above the, it's on the y-axis. That is my fault. It's not on the x-axis. The x is 0. The 2 is on the y, so it should be here. And then you go up there. And then you go to the right 4 counts. So this is now the line. Okay. Next, we go to the next given. I think this is the last one. So we have here 3, 5, and m is undefined. So remember that if m is undefined, the line there should be vertical. But if m is 0, the line should be horizontal. So we will look for 3, 5. 3, 5 is, we have here 3 for the x. So we have this one, 3 for the x, and 5 is the y number. So you go up 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the line is here. Okay. So that is 3, 5. This one is here. So since it is vertical line, because the slope is undefined, so you will just line up from here. Straight lang yun. And that becomes your line. Because you are asked to graph the line that passes through the point and having a slope of that given. So that is now your line. So to have a clearer answer, you have that one there. Okay? So that is how you graph the line when you are given only a point and a slope. That is how you graph the line. Okay. So this time, you will now answer a drill. Okay? You can answer this drill, and then I will just, if I will have time, I can give the answers also during my next videos. Okay? So graph the equation 6x minus 3y equals 15 and find the slope of the line. Number 2, graph the equation 5x plus 10y and find the slope of the line. Graph the equation y plus 5 equals 0 and find the slope of the line. Number 4, graph the equation x minus 4 equals 5 and find the slope of the line. And then what is the slope of the line with the equation 3x plus y equals 9? Number 6, what is the slope of the line that passes through 4, -4, and 6, 8? 7, draw the graph of the line passing through -4, 0, and having a slope of 3, 4. Number 8, graph the line passing through -5, 5 with a slope of -2, 5. And number 9, what is the slope of the line shown in the graph below? Okay, here is the graph. So what is the slope of this line? So I already taught you how to find the slope when you are given a line. And so, I hope you will be able to answer these things. And so, that ends our, wait, there is still number 10. True or false? Write true if the statement is correct and false if not. Letter A, all vertical lines have undefined slopes. Letter B, not all horizontal lines have a slope of 0. So you just write there, true or false. And I think that ends our discussion for today. Thank you for watching. I hope that you will have more blessings and that you will be protected and also your family. Let us see each other again during my next video. God bless you all. Goodbye.